There we are. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Legend of the Five Rings here on the Dead Unicorn Live channel. We are joined. Let's give ourselves a introduction to our cast. I am Corey. I am the game master. I am the one that controls the world, the setting that everybody's involved in. We're playing a pre-made adventure called The Knotted Tales. It is from Legend of the Five Rings, and it is an official adventure. But before we get into that, let's introduce everybody. And when I introduce you, tell us who you're playing, what your character is. We're going to start up with Josh this way. Josh?
Hello, I'm Josh, and I'm playing Shiba Inoue, a Phoenix Clan member.
A Shugenja.
A Shugenja.
A Shugenja who casts magic, a priest of the kami. All right, we're going to talk about Tarek up in this corner. Tarek, what is your character?
I am playing a Komikage. He is not a magic man, but is kind of magical. I am a lion courtier and becoming a bit of a duelist, and we are now in the Shadowlands, which is the absolute worst. So, yay!
Down in this corner, we'll use this hand, is Crystal.
I'm playing Hida Nozomi, a Crab Clan Bushi. It's my job to kill the things and take the hits.
And the last person is Matt. Matthew.
I play
I didn't
as
forget your
Togashi
name, Matt.
Tatsuo.
I promise.
Why? It's so easy. It's Togashi Tatsuo. But let's see. Togashi Tatsuo is a Dragon Clan monk, and he is also there to take some hits, deal out a little bit of damage, but also wow, surprise and mystify.
So, if you don't know what this setting is, Legend of the Five Rings is a samurai setting, a samurai fantasy setting. It's basically, if Dungeons and Dragons is for knights fighting dragons, this is for samurai fighting dragons. It's kind of the same thing, but a different cultural flair to it.
But the dragons are a little different. Okay.
Everybody is a human, but they're a part of different clans, and these clans are represented by animals, and those animals inform them of their personality. And as they all said, we have a Phoenix Clan member, a Lion Clan member, a Crab Clan member, and a Dragon Clan member.
Maybe not completely on the personality side, but their upbringing. It gives you a clue on their upbringing.
We hear, we put on a great show. We put on a good show. I'm proud of the show we put on. But we haven't done this in like a month, and it's been a while, and we'll need a good refresher on it and everything because things happen to everybody's schedule. Life had big upheavals for almost every single one of us here. But we're back.
I'm poor again.
We found a time in which we can do this on Monday, and I'm really happy that we can get back to doing this. And for you guys out there, I want to show you something. I created my own fan Legend of the Five Rings adventure. Up on your screen right now, it's called Flowers on Black Soil. You can go download this right now at the link. I think there's a link in the description. If you're on Twitch, you can go to patreon.com/deadunicorn, and it's free there. Free! It's free. You don't have to sign up to the Patreon to get this item. But hey, while you're there and you want to support us, it's, you know, we appreciate
It's
that.
available.
This show isn't free to put on. We use pay-for software like Wirecast and Zoom to bring this to you. Also, I believe in paying for everything we do. So I also pay for a Roll20 subscription instead of others who beg for it, like little Nancy boys, who, yeah. We're not like, what's the word? When you're, when you take favors from somebody, unethical. When you take those bribes. So we're not like that. But we do take donations from our greater fan base, are the people who are part of this club that we put together, the Order of the Dead Unicorn, and our patron squires are right over there. KMJH386, Necrosius, and Andy Roberts. We thank you for your patronage, and we welcome you to the Order of the Dead Unicorn. So, I'm sure none of you guys, like, people on YouTube can just watch the old episode and come, and watch them in order and just be like, no time has passed at all. What are you talking about? I know exactly what happened last episode. But you guys, I'm sure you've forgotten a lot. So we're going to do a slight recap here.
Well, thanks for mentioning that we're doing Knotted Tales now, because I forgot about it. But now that you've
only thing I
mentioned
didn't
it,
forget
I
about is
remember
that-
kind of what happened.
Kind of, sort of, is coming back now.
The only thing I don't remember, or the only things I do remember, is that we're in the Shadowlands and we're all kind of hurt.
Yes, you are kind of hurt. So, what happened was that you guys were all chasing a blood magic user, a Maho Sukai, through the Shadowlands. The Shadowlands is basically hell on Earth. Hell has leaked out onto the surface of the world and has twisted and changed the landscape and the creatures who live there. It is a dangerous place for you guys as well, as you could be tainted and twisted by this hellish landscape yourself. So far, you have staved off some of the worst effects, but I do believe that Shiba Noe is afflicted right now, which is something he'll have to get rid of, otherwise he might become fully tainted. And that is a terrible, terrible thing.
Yup.
I believe we were actually in the midst when we last left off. I was at a temple.
You were at a temple. You guys found a defiled temple, a temple that was consumed by the Shadowlands during your adventures, and you attempted to purify it. In doing so, you guys got caught by a bunch of lost samurai, evil, twisted demon samurai, which got you most of your
really
injuries.
Screwed us up.
Yeah, they really messed y'all up, but you were able to defeat them. And then you tried to purify the shrine in order to use it to purify yourselves of the affliction. Unfortunately, you were unable to do so. You failed at it, I think, twice, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think both Tagashi and the Shiba tried to purify it, and we had some bad rolls.
We did have some
I also
very bad
remember
rolls.
somebody had like a creature in their stomach.
Yes.
Yes.
There was also a samurai, a Haruma, that you found within this temple, and they had a parasite within them. And you brought this guy along with you in hopes that he could help out, or you could find a way to cure him, something like that.
Nezumi, that's right. We already had the Nezumi take care of that.
You're getting a little ahead of me, but yes. As you traveled, you ran into some Nezumi, which are also known as ratlings. Ratlings are basically half rat, half human creatures. Cute little adorable rat guys that are so really ugly, terrible rat people, because some people think rats are cute and some people think rats are gross. So
I think they're cute.
take your pick. All of these rat people, ratling Nezumi, which we're going to call them from now on, wear disheveled samurai armor, or things that make them look like it should be samurai armor that they've made themselves. They speak the samurai language, Rokugani, and act kind of like a parody of it, or like they're really trying. Every single one of their tails are knotted at the end of it, and the end past the knot have withered and fallen off. And they claim that they do this to remember. They also said that they needed your help, that their tribe leader, Silver. Is it Silverfur or Silverfang?
Silver
No,
Fang, I
Lucky
think.
Silver.
Lucky Silver.
Lucky
That
Silver
sounds right.
is her name. Is their tribe elder, and you were taken to see her, and she said that there were Nezumi scouts and other Nezumi that left that never returned, and she wanted to ask for your help as samurai to help her, since and this Nezumi elder, she had an above ground tent, whereas most of the other Nezumi have like burrows that they have. She had an above ground tent, and it had some finery of samurai about it. She had a faded crab banner. Behind her, she has a wakizashi on display in crab colors. She acted as much like a samurai noble as she could when she asked you, and talked about past alliances with the samurai, and hoping to rekindle that through this joint mission, through this ask for help from the samurai. As you were done talking to her, she let you out. But before that happened, your friend, the Haruma you saved, was taken by the Nezumi, and they extricated the parasite from him. So he is now recovering. Another thing that you guys have is that you have hired 4 Ronin to accompany you within the Shadowlands. These characters are Ujitaki, a giant of a man that carries a Tetsubo. He claims to have history with the Lion Clan. He may have been a Lion Clan samurai at one point, but he's now a Ronin. Hashina, who is a small, quiet woman, seems to use knives a lot, but she also is the only one who wears armor among them. Katano, he's kind of your hard-boiled samurai. He works as a scout. He's no nonsense, doesn't like lip, that sort of thing. Always chewing a piece of grass or whatever. And last but not least, we have Doi, a cheerful Ronin who, he doesn't say a lot.
Goes with the flow.
He goes with the flow. Everything he says is like very short. Not poignant at all, though. Like, he says as little as possible.
Okay.
As little as possible. He's not quiet like Hashina's quiet. Hashina's quiet because it feels like she doesn't want to talk. Doi has no problem talking. He just doesn't say anything when he talks. No substance there.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the entire cast of crew of this adventure. You guys have just come out of the meeting with Lucky Silver, and you're walking back into the Nezumi camp as a whole.
We were asked to do some stuff.
I think I definitely remember that.
Yes, you were asked to find out what's happening to these Nezumi that have gone missing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, was it just scouts, or was it
It was also
people
children, wasn't
disappearing
it?
like from the camp?
Yeah, it was scouts and children.
The pups. There was pups that went missing in addition to some of their scouts. The scouts went to go look for where the pups had gone. And went missing as well. And they thought it was some great creature that was stalking them.
I'd say we should try to at least make the effort to look for them, if at all possible.
Of course.
Well, certainly we're going to need their help to get to the castle.
Mm-hmm.
And perhaps even take it.
Do you think we should make any preparations before we begin?
Yes, like removing this affliction from me, if I may.
Mm-hmm. Well,
You'll
I'm
need
ready
to
to give
find
it
a
another
holy
try if we
site.
have any.
you'll need to find a holy site to remove affliction. If the Nezumi have a holy site, they might. You'll have to ask
Yeah,
around.
I'll
Pray
go
to the
ahead and
rat
ask.
gods.
Just any place that is holy ground will work.
All right.
So, usually, mostly. So where do y'all head off to? There are lots of different little burrows here, and there are lots of groups of Nezumi doing things. You see Doi meditating while little Nezumi pups climb all over him. He seems very content. Katano is resting up against a burrow and just watching things suspiciously. Ujitaki is just talking to different Nezumi and trying to figure out these people. He seems rather interested in them. Hashina is nowhere to be found. You can't see it. She's not there. The Haruma you saved is recovering in one of the burrows. You see a group of Nezumi. They're not like babies, but they're younger Nezumi, and they seem to be playing some sort of game. Looks like a board game of some sort in the dirt. You see a group of Nezumi, basically in like a. I don't want to be culturally insensitive or anything like that, but I don't know a different word for this, and I hope I'm using it correctly and not in an offensive way. A powwow.
I would say a murder of Nezumi.
No, it's not. It's not a. I'm not saying like a herd of Nezumi. I'm saying they're doing a powwow. Basically, they're sitting around and
smoking a
like
pipe.
Having
rapping.
some kind
Their
of meeting.
conversation or meeting. It's like a meeting that they're having. Yeah, exactly. But it's outside. There's like a fire. Everybody's like talking to one person in particular. One person is speaking and everybody's listening. And the word I know that best describes that is the Indian powwow, but I'm not sure that's a good. It's the word I learned growing up. And if it's a bad word, I apologize.
A congregation sounds just about right.
Congregation. Let's go with that. There's a congregation.
Well, I mean, congregation does have whatever. It's fine.
A more official sounding.
No, it's more proselytization. It's usually like one person is preaching to the rest of them.
I haven't given out this disclaimer in a while, but we're all Westerners.
Surprise! None of us are Asian.
Yeah, and we're playing Asian people. And if we play them in an insensitive manner or in a way that is not that bugs you or anything, please tell us in the comments and we'll stop doing that. We love Asian culture and we wouldn't be doing this if we didn't. So we want to do it right, and we want to do it right by you guys. So please just tell us so we can change and be better. All right, back to the game.
All right, so I'm definitely considering going back. What was the name of the Nezumi that we just spoke with? Silver.
Lucky Silver.
Lucky Silver.
Lucky Silver. Okay, I probably might ask her about a holy site that we can do cleansing rite on Shiba Inoue, and see if she has any areas that come to mind.
Okay, you walk back into the tent.
I thought we asked her about this last time, but
did we?
I thought she said that
about holy sites.
Yeah, I remember asking about holy sites, and I think she mentioned Haruma Castle being having holy sites.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I don't remember if
that is not something that is in here at all, so I can't. I'm pretty sure I didn't say that.
Okay. All right, we're just probably making assumptions or making up memories.
We definitely asked if any of them could do anything about this affliction, and they were like, this isn't something that affects us. We don't know what to do.
That is true. She did say that that Shadowlands taint doesn't seem to affect Nezumi at all,
Mm-hmm.
and so they don't have general knowledge of that sort of thing. But you didn't ask specifically for a holy site.
Mm-hmm.
So if you like, you can go back in there and ask her.
So we did ask for a holy site.
No.
No.
You asked about the afflicted condition
Mm.
or Shadowlands taint, and they said that they are
They're
Okay.
immune.
they're immune. That they don't have any ill effects from being in the
Mhm.
Shadowlands.
Okay, so I'll head on back into Lucky Silver's tent, and I'll go ahead and ask Lucky Silver. I apologize for interrupting once more, but I just had another thought that crossed my mind. You wouldn't happen to know of or have any holy sites or sites that you yourselves would consider holy that we could perhaps travel to close by?
She tilts her head and she says, "Think nothing of it, Samurai-san. You are welcome within our tribe. We are trying to make ourselves as accommodating as possible for you, since you are helping us in our time of need. I don't understand what you're talking about, a holy site. You speak
Holy
of
site would be essentially a reverent shrine to the gods where most Rokugani would go to pray.
like a spiritual place.
Yes.
Our spiritual guide, our
Mhm.
our spiritual master
Mhm.
is the
Guy with all the people around him.
Our spiritual guide is
Is-
named Cheekmonger, and
is
he
is One Eye,
legendary.
the dreamer.
Oh, okay. Where might I be able to find him?
He is it a he? Forget.
This is funny.
Yeah,
What?
he says, she says, oh, One Eye is hard to speak to. He is always in the dreaming. He's always within consultation with the transcendence. So please be very respectful of him and his ways.
I understand.
You can find
That's
the
why-
Dreamer's Chamber at the end of the main burrow, far from the rest of the Nezumi. It is there that he likes to practice in his seclusion.
Okay.
And
Well-
that's why, because you just asked a ratling like, "Hey, do you got any like temples to our gods?" And they're like, about that. We don't really follow your culture that much, so
Like, I'm just looking for anything spiritual. I don't,
Yeah.
but like personally, I don't like
I just love the idea of the Shiba walking into like a rat den and being like, "This is the holy place." Like,
So I'll
Whatever.
go ahead and
It's about the
gather up
spirits.
Inoue and like make my way to One Eye's den if at all possible.
Okay, you start on your way to One Eye's den. The
And
rest.
I'll also fill him in too.
Okay, you
Mhm.
stop
Of course.
and you say to Inoue,
Okay, so I was told that they have a spiritual guide within their tribe named One Eye, the Dreamer, and he is in a secluded den, a little bit away from the rest of the Nezumi. And I was asked by Lucky Silver to be respectful of him because he is constantly in a transcendent state, consulting with the ethereal. So I'm going to ask to see if we can perhaps either use his den or if he would have any recommendations on what to do in order to help cleanse you so we can perform cleansing rite.
how hilarious would it be if y'all walked into his den and it was just a rat doing opium?
He's like,
Well, if I'm gonna die, I might as well die. Having a good
yeah,
time.
He's in
man.
the dreaming.
Would like to join the
They don't mess with
dreaming
me
with
because I
me.
told them this place was spiritual or whatever. You want to have some opium?
You're
This
the
will
lucky
take
dude.
your mind to a higher place. It's all about
Super high.
opening yourself to new ideas. You
Riding
can't be
the
so
dragon.
closed.
Wait. Am I able to talk with you guys? Can you understand me right now?
Have you ever looked at your claw and been like, that's really a long claw. I could like
Have you ever been like sitting around and then a bunch of humans walk into your den and you're like, why don't they have tails, man?
why do I have a tail and you don't? It's like a law of the universe. And we're all discovering it together. Like one mind, but we're actually two minds.
That's one of those minds doesn't have a tail, man. Wow.
You know, like sometimes I can control my tail if I like think about it, and other times it just kind of does its own thing. Like it's part of the cosmos too, right? Like
Rattling mysticism, man.
So we'll have to find out.
pardon
about
me.
it.
It's actually super fascinating, to be honest. Like the rattling mythos that L5R came up with is very, very fascinating.
Cool.
So I say to Tagashi, well, okay, so a higher ethereal plane. That's along my ball game. So,
Mhm. Yeah. I don't want to make assumptions, that they pray to the gods that we pray to. So I would, want to be respectful to, whomever they
Of
worship.
course.
Mhm.
Let's just hope that some form of clean area that the Shadowlands taint did not touch, which is really hard to find.
Mhm.
Let's be
Well.
off, shall we?
okay, you two
I'll-
shove off. Oh wait, yes.
I will come with you, but stay outside,
Okay.
just so
Thank
like
you.
I know where you are.
I want to go and have a chit chat with that group that's chit chatting
Mhm.
more about this whole people being abducted thing.
Ooh, all right.
Mhm.
We'll come over to you, Tarek, for a second before we dive into weird spiritual nonsense.
So it is spiritual nonsense. Okay.
Weird spiritual
It's wibbly wobbly,
nonsense.
timey wimey stuff.
Everything is nonsense.
Even
in
what
the-
we consider facts.
You're in a
can be
nonsense
considered
world where
nonsense.
hell is on earth and there are dragons and gods are real and like mythological gods. So like everything's nonsense really, but it's all good, man.
There are literally sea spiders that work here.
As you approach the group, there, Ikomakage, you see one member has the entire attention of everybody. He seems to be talking to them in the Nezumi language of like chirps and squeaks and however else rat people talk, you know?
Pheromones.
Pheromones.
Butt wiggles.
He starts rubbing
Yes.
himself. He rubs his gonads on things.
Yeah.
Rat.
But as you approach, he ceases his squeaking and begins to speak in Rokugani. The pups glance at you and return their attention to the story. When the dead began to walk again, our warriors knew the cause was hopeless. They could not save the castle, but they thought they could save their friends. Come, samurai, Silverear called. We will show you the way out. We know the tunnels. But the samurai, they would not follow. They stood and faced the monsters that had once been their comrades. Our warriors, fearful for their lives, fled through the tunnels and away. So, the castle fell, and our friends perished while we survived. Each warrior wrung his paws in grief and guilt, until Leader Silver Ears tied a knot in the end of his tail. So I will never forget the pain of this day, he said, pulling the knot so tight the tail tip came off in his claws. His warriors each did the same. When you are old enough, each of you may choose to do as well. And with that, he concludes the story.
As he began talking, and I noticed that it was a tale that he was telling, I take notes. I pull out paper, and I'll write down what he's saying.
Well, he finished it. It's all there.
Yeah. Once he finishes, I don't want to like draw a bunch of attention or interrupt what they're saying. So I'm gonna wait for him to finish and for everybody to like do what they're going to do afterwards before I.
Oh, and when the story is done, he says, "Samurai-san, please sit. I'm sure you're curious about what's going on where you are."
I give him a very polite bow, and I will walk forward.
I apologize.
I don't really know the culture.
I apologize for not introducing myself, but I'm pretty sure that you would not be comfortable speaking my name of so instead, you may call me the Rememberer.
The Rememberer, eh?
Yes.
My name is Ikoma Kage, and I serve a similar role where I come from.
So, this guy, the Rememberer, he's frail and aged with long, limp gray whiskers and shaking paws. Yeah. Oh, so you are a samurai Rememberer, eh?
You could say that. My family comes from a long line of what we call historians. We remember the deeds of the past and the dark times as well.
Does your histories tell of the tale that I have told?
I personally have never heard it told, but it sounds like quite an honorable tale.
Well,
I should like one day to tell it to my students one day.
put that in your histories.
I would be honored to. I'll take the paper and kind of dust it with some ink setting dust. I will take out a bit of food, as I keep my own food in my own traveling pack,
Yeah.
and I will hand off some food to the Nezumi, the elderly Nezumi.
Oh, he'll take some. Oh, this is very good, different from what we usually eat here. Perhaps I should get you some food of your own. You could try Nezumi cuisine.
I would be interested in exchanging in an exchange of our culture. However, I do have more substantive questions that I felt you might be able to help me with.
This is my job here. So please, what can I help you? How can I help you?
I spoke with Lucky Silver earlier today, and she informed me that there was a bit of a conflict going on within your tribe. That pups were being stolen in the night, and you have lost a few scouts to discovering their whereabouts.
You speak of the present. My talents lie in the past. perhaps I can tell you something of that might help you.
I'm more than happy to hear what you have to tell.
So, what is it that you think might help you? Where should I begin?
I was correct me if I'm wrong, Corey, real quick. She did mention that this was something that they had a like child's tale that they would tell to the pups about some creature that could kidnap them and take them away. And she had mentioned the name, but I don't remember it.
Okay, yeah, there were several things she mentioned that might be causing this stuff. So I'll try and find those real quick.
Yeah,
The first one?
I know. I either me or Hida Nozomi had mentioned the blood speaker that we were hunting.
Yes, they
that
said.
could be
Okay, the first thing that Lucky Silver mentioned was the blood painter.
the blood painter.
The second one was a similar term, the painted samurai. And the third
Painted
thing
samurai.
she said, it might be a rival tribe.
So I'll ask about those three things. What he knows about those three things.
Okay. Well, when you ask about the blood painter, he'll tell you he'll say, let me tell you about the story of the Shadowlands. And perhaps that can help you. There was once a great scavenger in our tribe called Iron Teeth. He wasn't afraid of anything, and other scavengers felt braver just for being with him. Iron Teeth scavenged far and wide, and others followed him. When he came across the lair of a many-legged monster, a bulbous, dark creature that clambered silently across the Shadowlands seeking fresh meat, Iron Teeth didn't run away. He waited for the monster to disappear over the horizon and ran right into his lair. His companions waited at the entrance, watching for the monster's return. Iron Teeth called to them from inside the cave, telling them of a wonderful thing he'd found, weapons, clothes, and a strange sort of sack. Sure, it must be some sort of treasure, so he opened it, and his screams sent the others running all the way back to the village. Iron Teeth was never seen again, and no one has ever been back to learn what might have been in that sack. I don't know if that was helpful, but is what I know.
That is quite a fascinating tale of heroicism and yet tragedy. What of these painted ones?
They are samurai.
Samurai.
The painted men who do experiments on Nezumi. Well, we consider ourselves samurai. So let me tell you a story of our samurai heritage, shall I? Once, a pack of goblins attacked the village, killed half of the tribe. The rest ran to safety, and while raw with grief, leader Silverclaws demanded the lookouts reveal themselves. Only one Nezumi stood forward, the rest too afraid to admit they'd let goblins sneak up on them. Luckily, Lucky Fang was her name, due to her crooked teeth, and she shivered and shook while the tribe clamored for her punishment. Leader Silverclaw silenced them. He thanked Lucky Fang for her bravery and her honesty and named her his heir. Then Silverclaw drew the sword handed down from their ancestors and told his tribe he'd take the guilt upon himself. He ended his own life like a brave samurai. And that is how Lucky Fang became our leader. Lucky Silver.
Hmm. As awkward silence ensues.
Sorry, I'm taking notes.
Yeah,
he's
no
that's what I
worries.
figured he was doing.
Mm-hmm.
So, speaking of missing people, I know of a story of my apprentice. Her name's Quick Shadow as a pup, because no one could ever find her unless she wanted them to. There was a time when our dreamer had warned us it was a time to move on, and we packed up the village, and everyone was hurrying through the Shadowlands with their packs in their hands, and the young on their backs, and she was forgotten. She had been playing when the time came to move, and no one had seen her. She came home looking for food, and found the village gone except for one Nezumi. There I was, sitting alone, waiting for her. I didn't forget her, because I don't forget. That was the day she asked to be my apprentice, and carried my pack for me, and I have been working on her memory ever since. We're going to stop there.
Okay.
And we're going to move on to those looking for the dreamer. You guys have to go into the little burrow. Everybody gain a strife for walking into these cramped quarters with dirt. Every time you kind of raise up, you hit your head. There's your elbows kind of scrape dirt at some points in time. It's just icky. It's not good. Gain a strife.
Mm-hmm. All right.
First time back, we gained a strength. All right.
That's how it happens here in the Shadowlands.
Of course.
All right, y'all make it to the Dreamer's Chamber. It's set at the end of the main burrow, just like Lucky Silver said. And no Nezumi go down this far down the tunnel. As you go down the tunnel, by the way, there are little offshoots and different burrows here and there that y'all could explore if you want. No? Okay.
I'd rather respect their space.
All right.
Likewise.
So you enter this Dreamer's Burrow, which is a little cramped and dark, but is large enough for all of you. But before you get into it, you must pass through a place of complete blackness before the small tunnel opens into a larger space lit by a cluster of glowing mushrooms. A Nezumi sits cross-legged, cloaked in tattered blankets, apparently meditating with a clean bandage over one of his eyes.
All right. I assume that we just introduced ourselves at this point. If he's willing to speak with us.
You know what meditation looks like. You're a monk.
Mm-hmm. Out of character.
No, in character, you're a monk. You know what meditation looks like. He is meditating.
Okay. Well, I mean, not like I wasn't interrupted when I was meditating, but
Okay, you go to interrupt him.
without being too obtrusive, just saying hello.
There
one
is
eye.
no way. You're either
Oh.
waking this guy from his trance or you're not.
Well, considering that Lucky Silver said that he's constantly in a state of communication there's probably no other option at this
Okay.
point.
You walk up and you start shaking him and his eye opens and he snarls at you and he pushes you off of him. He gets to his feet and starts chittering and pointing and pushing you out the door.
Well, all right.
Wait,
That's what I
just
get for-
Tagashi or everyone?
Hmm.
Oh, everyone. He's mad.
Hmm.
He looks livid.
I would have said I
Like
would
I
have just
said, I
like
wasn't
tapped him
even
on the
going
shoulder or
in.
something.
Yeah,
but
you
no,
didn't go in, Crystal. You didn't go in. But these other two, yeah, he pushes you out the burrow entrance and into the darkness.
Mm-hmm.
And if you, he will yell and snarl and chitter at you if you protest or do anything against him. Do you?
No.
Do you try and stay? Do you?
I'll just stay outside and sit. It's like, well, looks like I made a mistake. It looks like we'll have to wait until he cools off.
He might be trying to do something for his people.
Mm-hmm.
My assumption.
But I won't provoke him anymore. I'll wait until he welcomes us.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
How long do you wait out there?
Well, personally, I'm willing to wait. I'll even get started on working on my new tattoo since I got a rank up
You can't see.
last
It's
week.
total darkness where you are.
Total darkness.
Yes.
No mushrooms, no candles that I
No.
probably brought with me.
All right. If you have candles that you brought with you, do you?
Do you
I should.
often bring mushrooms?
Oh, Crystal, you do notice that these two friends of yours were pushed out of the area by a rattling.
A loudly chattering, angry sounding rattling.
Oh yeah.
I'll say,
Well,
if
we
you
got
can't
pushed
get
out into
him
the light
out of
outside the
meditation,
burrow, or
if you can't get him to leave his meditation, maybe you can join him in his meditation.
that's exactly what my thought was. But
Ah.
next to him, or
Outside the burrow, so considering that he did push us away. I'm not hearing any sound from anyone's side.
I'm waiting for an action people are doing. I can't.
All right.
Y'all can talk about what you want to do all you want, but until I hear somebody say, "I am taking this action," nothing
All right.
happens.
Okay. So, if
Hold
you're
on,
willing
Josh
to-
was gonna say something.
I was just gonna say I was actually gonna try to come back into the burrow,
Mhm.
not say a word,
How
not
long do you-
interrupt.
How long do you wait?
After he pushed us out, I'd say what? I'd wait about 5 minutes,
Okay.
and if I don't hear anything, I would walk back in. I would not say a word. I would just sit down, and I'd actually do. I would try and attempt to do commune with spirits.
Okay. You walk back in, and I'll just make like a random roll here to see what he is up to after. Okay. You walk back in, and he's kind of grooming himself, and he looks at you and narrows his one eye. You hear a low growl.
I would actually get on my hands and knees, and I'd bow towards him.
Oh, make a courtesy check. So this
Alrighty.
would be courtesy. I'm gonna say courtesy charm.
Don't forget to use their
So-
special greeting, which is chitter, chitter, squeakum, squeak, squeak.
Courtesy water is courtesy charm, so that is the roll you have to make. You can spend void if you like, remember? It's up to you. So whenever you're ready, you can make that roll. And of course, the
Alrighty.
universal greeting is Ba Weep Garanup Weep Niniban, but whatever.
Yes.
Okay. I'll
At least you got explosive success.
take that explosive success and opportunity to better ingratiate myself.
Okay. You can roll
and
another
let me
die.
roll that other.
Yeah, you'll have to roll another skill guy to add to that explosive success.
It's a ring die.
A ring die
Ring.
or a
Yeah.
skill.
The black square.
Ring die.
Black squares are ring dice, yes. Did I misspeak? I apologize.
Stop with your double speak.
It's
Oh.
another
Yay.
success.
Okay, I'll take those two.
Okay, you'll take the strife,
Yeah, the double strife.
the double strife, and you get 2 successes and an opportunity, which is enough for him to stop growling at you.
Okay.
And he'll say, what will he say? He'll say, I've not dreamed in Rokugani for a long time.
My sincerest apologies for interrupting your meditation. I
Your
came
friend
here.
is not welcome in here.
I'm sorry?
Your friend is not welcome in here.
I'm sorry. I'll
This-
I'll
Has sanctity.
yeah. I came to ask for your help. I'm what they call afflicted. And I was wondering if there is a way if you can help me. I also can commune with the spirits of the earth, the sky, the
He'll
water.
walk up to you and he'll start sniffing you. What is afflict?
The Shadowlands, the evil that took over the other samurai
Oh,
and all of the lands.
like those who dream in darkness.
Yes.
Darkness invades your dreams.
It has,
Yes.
literally.
In a manner of speaking. I
The
wish to be
dreams
rid
have
of-
grown darker, bloodier. They whisper a violent return. I have seen as well. You wish to ask a favor?
I wish, if that's what it takes, yes, I wish to ask a favor of you to help me cleanse myself of this affliction.
Zumi know nothing of this. How does a dreamer help? I could cleanse your mind. Your body. This is your responsibility.
Okay. If you can help my mind or help me guide my mind to find a way to cleanse myself,
Of the
or give
taint.
me the knowledge
Do you know the recipe for clean?
The recipe for. Sorry, I didn't catch that. Last
Do
time.
you know the recipe for clean?
Yes.
Ah. Send the information to me.
So,
I'm good with PDFs or CSV files if you have
do you
that.
take flash drive?
I don't like.
No.
I don't use Microsoft Word anymore, so don't send those to me. I just the PDF.
Okay,
One
so
piece of the recipe you need is a place. You need the kitchen.
in order for me to share with you the recipe, I need a special place to do it.
How special. I use this place to dream. I use another to remember.
I'll probably interrupt because I'm listening.
You're
in.
probably hearing the echoing of me
Yeah,
talking.
you need like
you
you need a
walk
place
in?
of spirituality.
Do you walk in?
No, I'll just call out from outside the room. You need a place of spirituality.
He growls and says, "Get that man away from my domain."
I'll take
He has
Togashi
claws in my
Tatsuo.
dreams.
I'll take
I
Togashi
apologize
by
sincerely
the
for
arm
his
and
rudeness.
lead him outside. I'm gonna
Need-
go fix my weapon and armor that are damaged.
All right.
And I will go ahead, once there's light, there's enough light, I'll go ahead and start working on my new tattoo and patching up my wounded water
Look,
ring.
there's not a lot of space in this burrow to do stuff. You'll have to leave the
Outside.
burrow.
Yeah, that's why I said I'm gonna go outside.
That sounds
Yes.
great. It's a good place
and
to
I'll
do that.
I'll do the same.
All right. Back within the burrow. So you need a place with spirits. Both
Yes,
spaces
with-
have
With
spirits.
spirit
Here
energy.
are transcendence. There are the thoughts, other spirits. Echoes, memories, to which you need.
Okay.
Here we find the transcendence. There we find our past. To which spirit do you find cleanliness in?
I the transcendence. Could you tell me what the transcendence is?
The transcendents warn of wicked things to come. They see your path, they do not envy it. Yes.
Okay. So the transcendence is in a sense a warning?
It is important to remember.
Okay.
Someone with a long memory, that's what you need. He dreams only of the past.
see. I was told by Lucky Silver that you can help me find a place of.
Such anger, such betrayal. What did our leader do before her fur turned silver?
So you're suggesting I speak with someone who can remember?
It is important to remember.
Okay. I bow towards him. And say, thank you for your guidance. I was completely lost at trying to.
Yeah. Welcome to talking to a dreamer.
So I bow once more, and then I leave him to whatever he needs to do.
Okay.
To the dreaming.
You exit the burrow. As you two exit the burrow, you see Okomakage talking to this old ratling.
Okay.
He's just kind of chilling out there, and he's writing stuff down as the guy's talking.
Mm-hmm.
Knowing, Ikomakage's past and tendencies of, literature and things like that, I presume that he is speaking with the one who can remember. So I head on over there.
All right, you walk on over. The rememberer, the old wizened Nezumi, which looks ancient, probably 120 years old, but is probably in all actuality like 8. We'll glance
I
up
have no
at
idea
you.
what their lifespan is like.
Samurai-san, welcome. They call me the Rememberer.
Hello, Rememberer.
Yes.
I just finished speaking with, what was his name? One Eye?
Yes, One Eye. He,
Yes.
It's hard to
He
speak
told-
to.
He told me to look to you because I need to remember.
When you speak to One Eye, he'll tell you what you'll need, but it may not be what you want at all. This may have... Why did you go see Old One Eye?
I don't know if you know what affliction is, or I've been told about it before.
Okay. It sounds terrible. It sounds horrible.
There's a darkness inside of me that the lands have put upon me.
Well, I have a knife. Tear it out.
I want to be cured of it without injuring myself any further.
Oh. I'm sure the dreamer could probably find a way to do that. The thing is, how to get him to acknowledge such a thing and help you is going to be an interesting task.
Hence why I think he sent me to you.
No. That's not why he
Because-
sent me to you. I probably have some information you need about some other thing in your life.
Like a holy place before the darkness took the lands.
No. I know of a few places within the Nizumi tribe that are considered holy. One is the Dreamer's Chamber. Another is, Is the cave? I'm sorry. I gotta look this up. My apologies.
Cave of Wonder.
Yeah, when he was
And the
talking
Hut
about
of
the
Treasures.
spirits that are
And
for
also this doll that I
Another is
created.
the Shrine to Memory.
Yeah, it sounded like he was pointing you to another area in the burrow.
Ah.
So the
I
Dreamer's
could not
area is where he
understand him.
contacts our transcendence. These are the best of us who have moved on into a higher state of being within the dreaming. They are forever there, and the Dreamer can take their wisdom and pass it to us. Though their wisdom is above us now, it is strange and weird and it's not meant for the brain from the minds of Mizumi, but it is. We do have a Dreamer whose job is to interpret these things and give it to us, and so he does, and so you are here.
Precisely. So it was good that I came to you then.
I look at the Sheba and then back at the Remember and then back at the Sheba and then back at the Remember and I go, might I intrude on this conversation?
You're here. How are you enjoying?
I did.
Please!
I did not.
Koma-san, you have something to say. I'm mostly ear.
Your memory is great among this tribe. Perhaps I might ask if you remember a time when your allies fell to the powers of the Shadowlands. Those men who rose from the grave that you spoke of when I first arrived.
Yes. I told you that story, indeed.
Indeed.
There was a time when, a story of when the Huruma and our tribe were as one. But unfortunately, the darkness fell upon our land. And the Huruma, the crab, they fought valiantly, but as they fell one by one, they also rose one by one to attack their brothers. Yes, it was a terrible, terrible time. And when the dead began to walk again, our warriors knew the cause was hopeless. They could not save the castle, but they thought they could save their friends. Come, samurai, Silvery called. We will show you the way out. We know the tunnels. But the samurai would not follow. They stood and faced the monsters that had once been their comrades. Our warriors, fearful for their lives, fled through the tunnels and away. And so the castle fell, and our friends perished while we survived. Each warrior wrung his paws in guilt and grief until Silver Ears tied a knot at the end of his tail. So I will never forget the pain of this day, he said, pulling the knot so tight the tail tip came off in his claws. His warriors each did the same, and it shows our kinship to the samurai. So we never forget this alliance.
Do you remember a time when these samurai would attempt to purify themselves, guard against the Shadowlands?
I do not have any stories of that.
Well, it was
In
worth
fact,
worth a question.
in fact, when this story was created, the evil of the dead rising was a new thing. It wasn't something that was common.
I see.
Not like now. Not in these dark times.
As I understand it, your tribe, your people, are not affected by the Shadowlands.
Mizumi are hardier than the samurai in this way.
Indeed. My friend Shiba-san is worried that he may become tainted. by
So
the
he
shadow.
said.
I believe he needs a place. I look over at him, kind of curiously, of that is not afflicted by this taint. Would your remembering chambers serve purpose as a stand-in for him?
Look, we were just discussing this exact thing.
Indeed.
I was going to get to the point. Like I said, we have two places that have holiness to them, sanctity to them, at least for us Nizumi. And I'm not sure if they will work for you, but I don't know if it would hurt to try, and perhaps they will work. I'm not sure. But I can tell you about them. One is the chamber of the transcendence in which the dreamer does his dreaming. If I could reiterate that. And the other that I know of is the shrine to memory. It is our shrine, it is my shrine. It is where I remember. Or rather, where I store our memories.
Okay. I think I understand now.
If you want to know about the dreamer, I have a story.
I would indeed be interested in hearing it.
Well, let me tell you a story of the dangers of dreaming. Long ago, a young pup called Frayed Whisker begged our dreamer to take him on as an apprentice. And though the eager pup was clever and quick on his paws, he didn't have the quiet mind needed for dream work. He asked and asked until the dreamer gave in and taught Frayed Whisker the best he could. And for the first time, the young apprentice entered the realm of dreams. He saw something that changed him forever. A warning from the ancestors, perhaps. We'll never know. Whatever it was, Frayed Whisker woke at once. Horrible visions plagued him day and night. He became afraid and then angry. And when the dreamer tried to help him, he lashed out and clawed one of the dreamer's eyes from his face. Lucky Silver was pained by this, but wisely knew Frayed Whisker was too dangerous to stay with the tribe, so he was exiled from the safety of our people long, long ago. That's why our dreamer is known as the One-Eye. It's a sour memory, but an important one.
That explains why he's a little upset. Okay.
Did you upset the dreamer?
That was a foolish
No,
move.
When I brought up Lucky Silver, he seemed a bit upset when I mentioned him. Although I do believe I need to speak with. Is Togashi with me?
Oh yeah, he's out here. He's piercing his skin, bleeding himself out in the Shadowlands. Doesn't seem like a good idea, but
yeah.
but he seems to be okay with it.
I just,
Hey,
just
getting
kinda
into
look at him for a
tat.
I look at him for a second.
Motorcycle, pretty bitchin'. Whatever.
It's a motorcycle with a big flaming skull head on it.
It's a Ghost Rider. It's interdimensional.
Underneath it, it says "Born to Ride."
And also love mom.
It's Betty Boop with a demon tail.
Then you see like a whole bunch of like ladies' names crossed out with like hearts above it, like Stacy, Sally.
you need to draw him with like a
Names
Lord Togashi like banner on with the dragon.
Lord Togashi and his barbed wire under it.
So,
Pardon me.
I think the remember for the information that they gave me. I bowed to him.
If you'd
I
like
walk
to
over
use
to
the Shrine of
Togashi, who's
Memory, I
stabbing
can
him.
show it to you.
Marvin?
If you'd like to use the Shrine of Memory. Remember I kept talking about the Shrine of Memory?
Yes.
I think perhaps
He's like, these
you
samurai
humans
have
don't
shorter
have
memories
very
than
good
we do.
memories.
No,
Perhaps you
I'm-
need to visit the Shrine of Memory.
Okay. So, Shrine of Memory and One Eye's place.
Yeah.
essentially.
Would
Yes.
you like to see the Shrine of Memory?
Yes.
I can show it to you. It's my place.
Please.
I'm very proud of it.
Yeah, it's totally bitching.
It's totally bitching. It's got a
Just get
water
ready to-
slide in it. It's great.
Just get ready to see a lot of like chewed up pieces of wood.
I was thinking the gigantic equivalent of toilet paper rolls.
With writing on it, little tiny critters.
So the Rememberer will lead you into a burrow and through the
I come
underground
because I
tunnel
wanna
into a
see this.
small hidden cave with a hole in the roof. It's a cramped space lit by a weak shaft of sunlight, and it contains relics of Nezumi history. These include simple things like a brass button, an engraved snuff pot, a copper coin with unrecognized symbols on it, and other things. They're arranged with care on shelves dug into the cave walls, creating a crude sort of shrine. Who's all there? Who came?
I think just me and Josh.
Just you and Josh?
Yep, I'm still
Yeah.
out there
I
repairing
was going
my
to grab
stuff.
Togashi, but I didn't want him to stick himself.
In
Appreciate
the
it.
wrong place.
All right. Tarek, you see a Lion Clan ring from an ancient time. It seems to be a sort of family heirloom of a Lion Clan, that family that you never heard of, but it does definitely seem Lion Clan. It seems like an ambassadorial thing. Like these people were supposed to be there, but you don't know. You don't know what happened. This is
Yeah,
weird.
it gives me more questions than answers, but questions that I will likely bring up to the Remember at some point.
Inoue sees a writ that it basically gives a it's an imperial decree. It's got the imperial symbol on it. And it's granting a pardon to a Ronin. But unfortunately, you can't read the Ronin's name because that part has been smudged with food or some tea or something. It could just be like mud. It could be anything, but you can't read it.
Okay. Huh. Interesting. This is fascinating, actually. Kage, have you seen this?
I'll take a look at it. Huh. Is there like a history check I can make to recognize the name or the identity of the individual?
Or
You
at least
can't-
the writing.
not right now. Like it's too maybe if you had we're in a library with
library.
better records, you could make you look at it and you go, oh, I could start here and research if I wanted to research it. But there's no way you could glance at this and know anything about this. But
Okay, I will
you know
transcribe
which-
it on.
You know which Hantai gave out the pardon, so you know the era. You kind of it gives details about this Ronin, like what his crimes were. So you have good starting points for research, but there's no way to
Okay.
know.
What I'll do is I'll transcribe it so that I don't lose track of the information. I don't have eidetic memory, but I will transcribe it onto some paper. I have a bunch of paper and writing utensils, so I'll transcribe that, and then I'll also take notes about the ring and set myself up to ask questions of the remember once the Shiba gets set up.
Other things as you start looking, Kage will find a jade talisman that is supposed to be part of an obi.
The jade talisman.
Yes. Inoue will keep looking, and he will find, like, sacred prayer beads. You know those big, like, ball things that monks have?
The Buddha
balls?
Buddha balls?
The
Yeah.
Buddha balls? You find those?
No, Benoit, but that's what they're called.
Benoit.
Like,
Is that what they're called for real?
no, not at all.
No, that's not what those are.
What are Benoit? But what are you talking about?
It's not appropriate for a live stream.
Right. you Benoit.
Yeah, they're called. I think they're called Buddha something. Buddha beads. I think that's
Buddha
what they're
beads?
called.
Sure, why not? I'm good with
they're,
that.
They're prayer beads from Buddhist temples.
They
I know
had some
exactly what you're
incense.
talking
There's incense here as well.
Ooh. If only I can do cleansing right on myself.
Yeah, Buddhist prayer beads. Yep,
Okay.
Buddha beads.
So, will this place work as a holy site for a cleansing ritual? It's
Could I
better
use-
than
Could do
every
a
other place
check.
you've seen so far.
Okay.
Buddha mala.
Okay.
There might be difficulties here, but it's better than every place you've seen so far.
Okay. Remember, would it be okay if I can have my friend outside perform a rite upon myself using this holy site?
You need to spit up your affliction, right?
Yes.
Well, you can't do it yourself. Go get your friend to help.
Thank you.
I don't want you becoming an evil demon samurai. That doesn't help anybody.
Thank you.
And we're allies, right? Samurai and Rat and Nezumi, we're together. We help each other.
I appreciate that. I make haste out the
Some
I'll be right back.
a tunnel, just as I was about to talk to him.
All right. Well,
I still have my microphone. It's just my cat decided to be a butt and interrupt. He just opened the door. It's like, I want your attention. It's like, stop, please.
I will
no
ask
one
the,
cares about your cat, Matt.
Yeah.
That's not true. This is the internet. Everybody cares about the cat.
In fact,
I,
I'm
They'd
actually
rather,
getting-
in fact,
Show me the cat!
more people would rather care about that cat than watch us play this game.
just hold the
Hey,
cat
I was
and I'll
attempting
just
to pick
start
him
getting...
up so that way I could show him to you, but he's the one that doesn't
Oh.
like getting picked
Yeah,
up.
let the cat be. Let him be.
That's fine. So I approach Tagashi and I'm like, we found a holy place. Are you done stabbing yourself?
Never.
A rather crude way of explaining it, but I guess I can tend to my other injuries afterwards. But sure, I am willing to help you out.
Okay, because they have holy relics in there and
Oh,
this might be our best bet.
yeah, let's give it a shot. See if we can help you with the taint.
Yeah.
Now I will just need to reach into your pants and
Yes. The
I'm giving
grundle,
consent.
I had a
the
feeling. You
perineum.
I will manipulate
I-
the taint within you.
I had a feeling you guys would do that.
I
More
was
jokes.
coming eventually.
More jokes.
While they leave, I will start asking the rememberer about the different baubles that we found. See see if he has any memories.
And let me know if you want me to make any, like, smithing rolls or anything.
Oh, no. Oh, yeah, we'll do that a little later, actually. You'll need to. Let me see here. We need to do your rite of cleansing. So let's get that out of the way first.
Uh-huh.
Rites. We're in techniques. We are, I think this is Kihos. That's invocations.
The cleansing rite.
Theology.
They have rituals.
Yeah, I know. I'm in Shugi. I think that's one too far. Rituals. Cleansing rite. Rank 1. It is a TN3 Theology Void check.
Mm-hmm. I got 2 skills in theology, or level 2 skill in theology.
So here's the dealio, yo. This isn't an appropriate site, but it is technically a site you can use.
So what is it, like an extra TN?
Yes, it's going to be TN4 because of that.
Ugh.
So, it is TN4. If anybody else has the right, they can attempt to help. But I don't think anybody else does.
I
think
do,
it's
but
just
I'm the
those
one being
two.
cleansed.
Excuse me, Crystal?
I think it's just those two.
Yeah.
You can't do it on yourself.
I can't instruct or give information.
You know what? I'll allow it to happen. I'll say
Since
that
he's
you
only
can help.
assisting.
You can help in it. You can assist the person who is doing it.
All right,
So-
is that +1 skill
That'll
or
give you a +1
ring die?
+1 skill
Skill.
die because he has the skill theology.
Okay.
So, it's your theology, your void, +1 skill die, and void if you want to spend void.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and spend a void on that, and that's a +1
+1 ring die.
element ring, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, my brain did not want to register it. It's like, no, I'm not doing it. I'm not functioning. Oh.
Well, you can just succeed right then and there if you like.
Let's do that.
Okay, you'll take 3 strife,
Uh-huh.
and you may roll
Reroll.
more dice for your explosive success.
All right. I
Sis.
am looking forward to it. So let's see. I always love re-rolling explosive successes. Make it feel good. All right, I'll definitely keep the success without strife. Or
Extra
yeah.
successes do nothing, but fine. You can
Oh,
keep it.
okay. How about opportunities?
Um,
Do they-
It'll allow you to target an otherworldly being, choose an additional target, or target an area. You know, you do an area of effect.
Yeah, why not the site? Make it quote unquote more appropriate.
Okay.
Next time we use
You
it.
do that.
For any future use.
Mm-hmm. For future games.
You do that, and some of the incense and other things lose their. If they have any like Canson about them, they become more holy and better in this area. So, good job.
Cool.
But you'll take 3 strife doing that. And
I did.
in no way the
Yes.
Canson pour out of you, and your spirit is set aligned once again. You lose the afflicted trait.
Yay! Thank you. The taint has removed itself.
But you had to ingest a lot of ayahuasca, so you're gonna be vomiting and having diarrhea for several
So
hours.
worth it. I just gotta deal with this debilitating gash in my
Same
fire.
here. Same here.
Right.
Everybody
My
you guys
water
are
ring
still
needs to
super
be healed.
injured. Yeah, I think I was able to fix like one minor wound among somebody.
Yeah, I'm still injured too.
Mm-hmm.
I have a light wound in my water.
Oh,
Oh, my
no,
wa-
your water broke.
Looks like all the men in this party have their water broken.
Ugh.
Well, not
Like,
mine.
what's going
My
on?
fire's wounded.
Oh, your fire's wounded.
Yeah,
Your rage, it's not quite as ragey.
yeah, and my
He's just lost his passion.
my passion's kind of just
It burnt out.
So,
not completely. It's just hurting.
the Rememberer is out as you do the ritual. He doesn't answer Tarek's question because he's very interested in this ritual about the things. And after it's done, he'll walk up to Inoue and give him a sniff. Yes, you smell different. You have a different
Yes,
scent about you. It's better scent.
I am free of the darkness.
He'll look around the room, he'll perk an ear to the side, and then he'll kind of scurry out of the burrow.
Interesting.
Well, I was going to follow up with him about all of these antiques. It looks like that'll have to wait for another time.
Well, we can always return.
Do you feel better?
I feel myself again. Although I still need to work on this gash. Ugh.
Same for my own as well. I believe when we were at that shrine, I didn't do such a good job patching it up. I want like before we head on out, I'd rather be in tip-top shape, if at all possible.
I agree. At least keep our heads on straight now that we have a holy site that we can refer to. Not that we don't want to be too much of a bother towards them, but at the same time.
So, Crystal, as you're patching up your armor the best you can out there, you see the Rememberer crawl out of the burrow, lift his head up, and kind of look around, scanning the other Nezumi. He'll kind of climb on top of the burrow to get a better look, and kind of tilt his head and put his hand up to his ear.
He goes, "The blood hunt has begun."
And then he'll climb back down and start talking with the other Nezumi.
I'll put my things down and come over and ask, what's going on? Is there something out there?
Well, my apprentice Quick Shadow. I asked her to go to the graveyard earlier to name all of our dead. It's very important for a rememberer to be able to remember a Nezumi by their skull. But she hasn't returned, and it's getting late. So I was wondering if I could get anybody to go out there and bring her back.
I'll see about that.
Oh, why, thank you, Samurai-san. It was very nice of you.
I'll go peek my head in on my companions and
All
let
right.
them know what's up.
Sounds good.
If anybody is feeling up to coming with me, I know we have injuries among ourselves.
Of course.
Then you're
But
welcome to
Major-
come. I understand if you need to stay and tend to your wounds.
Let me just and my paper. Or set my ink, and I will leave the papers down to dry, and I will get up, fasten
I'll
my
watch
sword,
over
my-
your-
my obi.
I'll watch over your scrolls so they may dry thoroughly.
I will come, Hida-san.
Okay. And I assume I'm not done finishing my armor yet.
No, it hasn't been enough time. But you have you've got a good way through it so far, because it takes 10 minutes to do a cleansing ritual.
Okay.
So
Super quick.
You're very much there. So you could spend another 20 minutes on your armor to repair it fully, or you could go to the graveyard right now.
It's probably best if we go check on her sooner rather than later.
Yeah, I have some questions for her.
I'll put on my partially repaired armor and pack away my repair kit.
Okay, y'all
Oh,
get
if you
ready.
want, I can give you a pair, like some. It's not going to be nearly as good as the armor that you wear, but I can give you some concealed armor.
Your concealed armor is as good as my traveling clothes.
Well, humdrum.
So everybody gets ready to go to the graveyard, and that is where we'll have to end it for today.
All
All right, awesome.
Yes, it is awesome.
That was fun.
Yay!
So everybody give yourself an experience point.
Woo.
1 experience point. Togashi Tatsuo, lose 1 point of honor for disrupting the dreamer.
Oops.
Lose
It's a
1 point of
minor
honor.
infraction.
Lose 1 point. It's super minor. It's like the minorest of minors. Like, oh no,
Yeah, I still
you
feel a
upset
little
a
guilty.
creature.
Like I
But-
still feel a little guilty on that. It's
but
like
hey, if you just disturbed the creature, you wouldn't have lost honor. But you did promise Lucky Silver you wouldn't. And then you did. And that's where the honor loss comes from.
yeah.
Oh no, you broke
I wasn't
your
expecting
word.
you to shake him. I thought you were gonna meditate.
Hey, that's
next time.
Corey's edit. I would have just like tapped him on the shoulder. It's like, hate to interrupt, but hey, that was Corey's interjection.
Anything you would have done to, like, you can do it. You could whisper gently into his ear or whatever. No, it doesn't matter. However it was either he's mad at you for interrupting or you don't touch him. Those are your options.
Yeah, I think the better option would have been just to sit down and like meditate with him, but
I was actually expecting for you two to link up since you're a dreamer technically too. I was expecting to be some type
I
of-
wasn't thinking about it at the time. It's like
They're
Alright.
they're
Yeah, that's
kind of
like your
different.
special
what's
power.
what's the realm called, Corey? Is it
The dream.
Yomi?
Ascendant?
Yumido.
Yumido.
Yumido, the Realm of Dreams. By the way, Tarek, for being very nice to the Rememberer, you get yourself 1 point of honor.
Very nice. I'll take it.
For
I'm actually
humbly
extreme-
apologizing to a lesser person, a ratling, that you don't have to do that to. Anoe gets 1 point of honor.
Yeah.
And those are all of the gains that you've gotten this adventure. We'll be back next Monday, I hope. Everybody put that on your calendar. There's no changing the gate now. We're locked in. Monday. Samurai Mondays doesn't have the same... there's no alliteration. But it's where we are now. It's where life is. This is life now, guys. We're in the after.
What happened to
Record time
Saturday?
Mondays.
What happened?
Samurai Saturdays.
We're creating a new Saturday game, but unfortunately Josh can no longer do Saturdays, so we're here on Mondays, and Matt can't do Saturdays either. So
yeah.
this is where we
I'm
are,
out there hustling,
And-
trying to earn some dough.
and I hope you continue to join us out there. You can always watch us as a recorded show, and we appreciate you watching. Hey, you made it to the end of our video, so you get to give this video a like. Because obviously you liked it. You
And to
watched it all the way
subscribe.
through to the end.
And to subscribe so that you can see the ones later that come out after
Of
in
course.
the future.
In the future. And of
Ring
course,
that bell.
we appreciate everything you guys do to support the channel. And we will see you next week. Goodbye.